Notre Dame is at Pitt Saturday. It is a noon kickoff right there in Pittsburgh, PA. Game day is there. It's on ABC. Jesse, a Pennsylvania native, tells me that Pitt fans have been very mouthy lately. He tells me that since Penn State has fallen off and Pitt is ranked, that the Pitt folks are running around the Keystone State, running their mouth. Jesse, is this accurate? You told me this earlier. He's not happy about it. He had choice words that he mixed in as he recounted this to me, but apparently that's a reality up there. So there are members of my staff that have baked-in bias in this game. I don't. Couldn't be me. I'm going to call it right down the middle as I see it. But surely, if that's the case up there, and surely if Notre Dame's rolling in here with their playoff lives on the line and Pitt's right in the thick of the race too, and everyone's jacked up for it, and game day's coming to town, surely Pat Narduzzi views this as a must-win game, right? Surely, Bradley, let's roll it.
Do you feel like this is a must-win for this team when it comes to something?
Absolutely not. It is not an ACC game. I'm glad you brought that up. It's not an ACC game. I gladly get beat 103 or 110 to 10 in that game. They can put 100 up on us as long as we win the next two after that. But again, our focus is on Notre Dame and getting as many wins as we can.
All right, check that. It's not a must-win game. We could lose by 90 and it'd be okay. They're going to play the game anyway. And, I don't think people know Pitt. I don't think people know a whole lot about Pitt. What do you know about Pitt? I know most of you haven't watched their games. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to give you a pass on that. We're disappointed, but we're going to give you a pass. People make mistakes all the time. Smart people do casual things all the time. Casual people rarely do smart things. So if you have committed the college football crime of not watching Pitt, how do you think they're playing? You probably think Pitt football, ground and pound, very physical. That is not at all what is happening with Pitt. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see those scores over there. Does that look like ground and pound? Does that look like ball control? That looks like track meet after track meet, which is exactly what Pitt wants. It started out once upon a time that Eli Holstein was going to be the hope at quarterback for Pitt. That changed pretty quickly. And Mason Heinschel, that's how I'm pronouncing his name, he took over. True freshman, he's been on fire. And you've probably seen highlights of him, but this Saturday you're probably going to watch a whole game of him. He's thrown for 300 plus in 4 of his last 5. They've got the 104th rushing offense in the country. So what you think normally about Pitt is not this year's Pitt team. It's kind of crazy to watch them. It looks like different team wearing Pitt gear with the style they're playing. Notre Dame is 15th against the run. They are 89th against the pass. That's a caveat because a lot of people tend to believe that Notre Dame has rectified their defensive woes. And then other people will say, yeah, but they haven't played anyone. And I'm like, well, they played USC. And then they're like, well, USC's a fraud. I'm like, okay, by that metric, what are we even talking about? It just sounds like you hate Notre Dame. And if you do, just say it. But if you're going to get Notre Dame's defense, you get them through the air. And if Pitt's going to get Notre Dame to begin with, they're going to get them through the air. So theoretically, this is how you'd want to stack up against Notre Dame. Again, theoretically, because there is this other factor, and that is, yeah, but we're Notre Dame. Sounds arrogant. Sometimes that's all you need to know about these kinds of games. Like Pitt's one of the best of a bad conference, and Notre Dame has hit their groove, and maybe it doesn't really matter what these stats on this piece of paper say. Maybe it's 30-3 at halftime Saturday. That could be the way it plays out. How real is that Pitt run defense? That's what we need to know. Because on paper, I have a piece of paper right here. Do you hear that? It says Pitt has the number 3 run defense in the country. We'll get back to the video 1 second. Do me one quick favor. Look down. Make sure you're subscribed. Most of you are. If you're not, please do so. It's the way we keep the channel free, we keep the videos coming, and we get to do college football year-round as God intended. All right, as promised, back to the video. We will find out. One thing, there aren't many certainties in this life, but one of them is Notre Dame will test how good your run defense is. It will test the paper. A lot of times it runs right through the paper. Even in the Louisville loss, though, Pitt still controlled Isaac Brown. They lost the game, but it wasn't because they got run all over. West Virginia had the most success against them. That was like the first game of the year. And since then, if we believe Notre Dame's turned a corner, then we could reason to believe Pitt turned a corner. Only Miami has held Notre Dame under 100 rushing yards, though. And that was forever ago as well. So a lot of the worst things that happened to these two teams happened a long time ago, and they've each hit their respective strides since then. This is the last resume builder for Notre Dame. They were sitting there at number 9 in the playoff rankings when they got released tonight. This is the last whiff of a ranked opponent they will face. They got at Pitt. Pitt's currently ranked, I think, 22nd or 23rd. Then they got Syracuse. Then they got at Stanford. So this is it. This is it. After this, their resume is largely done, and the only thing they can do is hurt it after this. It could turn into an excellent quarterback matchup. I've gotten this deep into it. I haven't even mentioned C.J. Carr. But if it is the case that Pitt's able to not shut down Notre Dame's run game, but limit Notre Dame's run game, I don't believe you can shut it down. But if they somewhat limit them, and it's up to C.J. Carr to throw the ball to win, he can. He can. Mason Heitschel, could he throw the ball to win? Yeah, I think he could. Could be one of the best quarterback matchups of the day. Notre Dame's defense forces mistakes, though. And what worries me a little bit here is you got a true freshman quarterback. It's not his first start where he doesn't know any better. He's several starts in now. Now, the plus side of that is he's gaining valuable experience. The downside is there's more tape out there on him. And you've got a defensive staff here, especially the head coach there, that understands how to spot tendencies, how to expose flaws and weaknesses, how to bait, how to make you see ghosts, how to make it look like there are 14 defenders on the field. Not impossible, just tough. Let's take a look at what the model thinks. Right now, FanDuel's got Notre Dame as an 11.5-point favorite. The model has Notre Dame minus 10. I have to see Pitt do this to believe it. I think Notre Dame's playing some really good ball right now. I'm sure there'll be a big public side in this game. I'm sure a lot of the public will bet Notre Dame. I just happen to be with the public. I just visualize a lot more frequently if I simulate it 100 times. I just see Notre Dame comfortably winning a whole lot more than I see this thing going down to the wire. But when you get good quarterback play, you can win most any game. I mean, if you got certain minimal baseline standards for your roster, and if they get that out of Heitschel Saturday, yeah, could be a deep four-quarter game. I just think Notre Dame's going to force mistakes. They've done it so many times in these kinds of games. I think they're going to force mistakes, take advantage of them, and I think they're going to win and cover.